This is part one now of our three-part series following a remarkable project coming out of Hull. It's called the Beats Bus. It was founded by Stephen Arnott. It delivers music workshops in hip-hop, DJing and breakdancing to help local disadvantaged children. They aim to take those who may be at risk of falling into crime or who are struggling at school and give them purpose through music. It really is a great project. Our reporter Ryan Dobney followed the team when they recently headlined the OuterLimits Festival at Normanby Hall Country Club.
Throughout history, rap and hip-hop music has come in all different forms, inspiring generations.
We gotta start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. And that's how it's supposed to be. How can the devil take a brother if he's close to me?
It's the return of the... Oh, wait, no, wait, you're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he did he?
Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard, you never thought that hip-hop would take it this far.
But rap's soul influence isn't just in America. More locally in Hull, there's the Beats Bus. Launched in 2017, the Beats Bus aims to help struggling teenagers through the power of hip-hop. So with them performing at a local festival, I thought it was high time to check them out.
Yeah, so we have a mobile recording studio and we teach all the elements of hip-hop. So we teach DJing, graffiti, breakdance, songwriting and rap, but also like live performance and confidence building as well. I'm Steve Arnott, aka Red Eye Phoenix. When we do the sessions at the Beats Bus, we have a check-in every week at the beginning, and a lot comes up about bullying all the time online and feeling pressured by what they're seeing, and now with AI, all the fakeness that's coming with that, they're kind of lost in the social world. I think one of the main reasons we did this was because growing up we wanted to be hip-hop artists, but growing up in poverty, our families had no money to let us follow our dreams. So we made some wrong choices to make money to then be able to follow our dreams. So I believe taking away the financial barriers for young people can stop them making them wrong choices and going down the wrong paths to make money that the family don't have.
A worry of the local population is the continuing impact that County Line's drugs operations are having on young people, something the Beats Bus team wants to address.
The County Lines is big in Hull, and it's big in places like Grimsby, just out of Hull, as you know, just not far from here, and all these other places where the young people are groomed. My name is David Okwesia, DJ Redlocks. It is going on, and it's going on underneath parents' noses, and some parents don't even realise because, you know, they're unaware of these sort of signs, you know what I mean, until it gets a bit too late and maybe the kid brings out a bundle of money or is coming home and some new trainers and stuff. But yeah, it is a worry, and but we're doing our best.
So whilst the adults set up for the performance at the festival, I caught up with some of the young people and parents involved in the project.
I'm Nana and I'm 18 years old. It means for me like community, family, because when I'm doing my producing, I'm kind of like in a zone, like how you got Cristiano Ronaldo when he's playing football, he's locked in, he's in his flow state. Producing gives me my kind of like flow state and actual like mind space to like lock in and do something that I can pursue in the future.
I'm Lindsay Seaton. I have a couple of kids who attend Beats Bus. There's so many influences and things that they can see and access, you know, online. But the Beats Bus are really good because as part of their sessions, you know, they talk really openly to the kids as well.
And we can bring one in now, I think. Hi, miss. Sorry, what's your name?
Ellie.
And Ellie, what does the Beat Bus do for you, would you say?
So whenever like we go to Beats Bus, then I always like, say if I'm feeling like quite sad, then they'd always do something to cheer me up. It just like makes me want to go off my phone more and like write raps and other things.
According to the 5 Live Teens Summit, more than a third of young people spend 5 or more hours on their phones. So headlining a festival was quite the achievement for the Beat Bus project, as I found out with their performances, starting with Connor Phelan, aka Felix, and siblings Frankie and Ellie Seaton.
Now test the mic, I bless the mic. Preach the word, so reach the world and let my light shine before all men. Represent he that put on flesh and took on death.
Summertime! Yes, yes, summertime! Yes, 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 summertime! Summertime! In the summertime, thank you!
Following the show, I checked in with co-founder Steve again to see how he felt following the performance.
So proud of them all, like, just seeing them all shine, it really makes me proud, and it makes me humbled that, you know, we can provide these services for them, because, like I say, if we don't give them for free, none of them would ever get up and do anything like that or have the chance. So it just makes me so proud that they did what they did, and yeah, everybody enjoyed it.
By mixing hip-hop, rap and breakdancing, Steve and the crew, thanks to the Beat Bus project, helped lift up the at-risk young people of Hull. In the age of AI, toxic influences and county lines, their aim is simple: to change the statistics of the school to prison journey through the help of music.
Brilliant stuff. It's essentially, Gordon, isn't it? It's a kind of a youth project on wheels, a youth club that kind of used to be in most towns. And it's fantastic that they're bringing it back. That is part one of our three-part look at Beats Bus project in Hull. Tomorrow, you'll hear extended interviews with those at the very heart of the bus, and also from people who have succeeded in life, gone down the right path because of it. Our reporter Ryan Dobney there.
Listeners to the show yesterday may have heard the first of our three-part series, a brilliant series following a remarkable project coming out of Hull. The Beats Bus, founded by Steve Arnott, delivers music workshops and hip-hop, DJing and breakdancing to help local disadvantaged children. They take in those who might be at risk of falling into crime or who are struggling at school and give them a bit of purpose through music. Now, in part one, we played you a report from our very own Five Live superstar Ryan Dobney, who's been following the project as they headlined a local festival. Have a listen to this.
I test the mic, I bless the mic, preach the word, so reach the world and let my light shine before all men. Represent he that put on flesh and took on death.
Summertime, yes, yes, summertime, yes, 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 summertime, summertime, in the summertime, thank you.
Seems like there's a theme to the show again, isn't there? It was brilliant yesterday, Ryan. Loved it. You joined us today to explain a little bit more about what's going on. So first of all, we heard that report yesterday. If anybody missed it, what is the Beat Bus?
Yeah, Gordon, I think it's quite simply, they aim to take those who may be at risk of falling into crime, struggling at school, those sort of kids who perhaps feel marginalised, and sort of give them a purpose through music, and specifically, as you were saying, through hip-hop and rap. So this Beats Bus is quite simply a vehicle that they drive to those sort of at-risk kids, those children, those individuals in disadvantaged communities as well, that don't normally have access to these facilities, quite some. And as you were hearing there, co-founder Steve, who you'll actually hear from tomorrow, so I want you to bookmark that in, Gordon. Can you do that? Can you do that for me?
I'll do that.
He knows all about these issues of travel and so forth. He didn't drive actually for decades, so he'll tell his own story tomorrow. But it's not just quantitative measures that they do things, and that's the most important thing, I think, Gordon, is they want to develop kids' confidence and sort of things that you can't really measure. So these kids who often feel marginalised are given kind of a home, really.
And you spent time with them. There are a few characters by the sounds of things, right?
Yeah, well, as you know, as you've heard there in the introduction, it's about the levels to which the Beat Bus has helped them within their life, kind of thing. And you heard obviously in the intro there a young man singing his version of Summertime, and as the Beats Bus headline this festival, I managed to catch up with this very talented 13-year-old.
My name's Frankie Seaton, aka DJ KIE. It's just gave me so much confidence, and it's just gave me so many opportunities, and all of the workers there is so helpful, so it's done so much for me. Well, in school, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't behaving great, and ever since I just joined Beats, it's just like made me so much more independent, and not just that, it's just like gave me so like I've just said, it gave me so many opportunities. So I've been going gigs like nearly every week, and I just like love it, really. So yeah, if I didn't have Beats Bus in my life, I do not know what I would be doing. Like honestly, I would be so I would just be like lost. I don't even know. Like they've just gave me so many chances and opportunities, and that's why I've been going with them for like 5 or so years.
And as you said there, Gordon, it's not just teenagers who have actually sorted out the project. In the intro as well, you heard from Connor Phelan, who also goes by the name of Felix. That's his rapping name. And he's 29 years old, and he was actually living with quite severe mental health difficulties. But thanks to the Beat Bus team, they got him counselling. They mentored him as well through the tough years. And they also encouraged him to join a gym, and they often sort of picked him up, took him to gym sessions as well. And this shows also, Gordon, how hands-on they are with their support. And I also managed to speak with him and ask Connor about his journey.
The Beats Bus has done great things for me, completely changed my life. That's not an overstatement. They completely changed my life. Who I was before I met them and who I am now is completely different people. Before I met them, I was living with addiction. I was suffering with severe anxiety and depression on a daily basis, and I just didn't really know what I was doing with my life. And it was a cold, dark world I was living in. I felt I had no purpose, and I was just always down in the dumps. Every day I didn't really want to get up out of bed. I'd have to drag myself out of bed, and I'd be using drugs every day to get through the day. When I met the Beats Bus, and Steve in particular, he invested a lot into me. He would travel from one side of the hill to the other in the morning, take me to the gym, get me some food, travel back again and drop me off, And when you come around folks like these guys who are just honest, very raw, and just positive, because, the story, all of us here at Beats Bus, we've all come out of darkness, and we don't ever hide that, but we're keeping it positive, we're keeping it real, and I think it just inspires, whoever it is we're going to be working with, whether it's going to be youths or, communities, but I think that just inspires people to see that light shining in the darkness is a blessing.
Testament to the organisers, isn't it, Ryan? But we'll hear from Steve tomorrow then.
Yeah, that'll be in part 3, you're right. And we heard a bit of Steve's story yesterday, and he will be joining us live tomorrow, 6:35, so do tune in for that. But it's not just about Steve. There's also Dave, DJ Redlocks. We've also got Nick Horsfield there as well. But I also spoke to a very talented man, a co-founder of the Beats Bus, and he goes by the name of Nigel Taylor, and he's the hype man of the organisation.
Growing up, I always wanted to do music, but there was always a big barrier, which is money. And we've just taken away that barrier and said, look, we're just going to meet you where you're at. If you've got a heart and you want to make music, or you want to rap, or you want to DJ, we'll provide the equipment, we'll provide the framework, and then we'll take you on tour and you can perform at these places, and then they're just growing their confidence. So it just works really well. What we do on the surface is hip-hop. What we're doing underneath is building confidence through hip-hop, because underneath it, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to connect with them, we're trying to let them know that they're good at stuff and they can be successful at stuff, and their voices are valid. So through that, they're amplifying their voices, but also turning down the negative voices they may have in their own individual lives, and it all just adds up to making them more confident. But also, it's a great testimony for our organisation to see someone that was completely a novice musician learn how to rap, learn how to make beats, and then go out and perform. And some of them are even earning money through just the training they've had here. So yeah, it's a win-win.
It's clear to see the influence you've had on them. How much sort of satisfaction does that give yourself? You're a man about helping people.
Oh, a lot, man. Sometimes I look at them DJ and rapping, I feel like they're like, do you know what I mean? It gets me in my heart. I'm so glad that they took that first step of dealing with nerves.
So that's part 2 of our 3-part look at the Beats Bus project. Thank you so much, Ryan, for putting that together. And tomorrow, it's all about Mr. Beats Bus himself, Steve Arnott.
Listeners to yesterday's drive may have heard the second of our 3-part series following a remarkable project coming out of Hull. The Beats Bus was founded by Steve Arnott, and it delivers workshops in hip-hop, DJing and breakdancing to local disadvantaged children. And the aim is to give a purpose through music to those who are at risk of falling into crime or struggling at school.
The Beats Bus has done great things for me, completely changed my life. That's not an overstatement. They completely changed my life. Who I was before I met them and who I am now is completely different people. Before I met them, I was living with addiction. I was suffering with severe anxiety and depression on a daily basis, and I just didn't really know what I was doing with my life. When I met the Beats Bus, and Steve in particular, he invested a lot into me.
Whenever we go to Beats Bus, then I always say if I'm feeling quite sad, then they'd always do something to cheer me up. It's pretty good because I normally spend a lot of time on my phone and screen time, and going to Beats Bus, it just it just like makes me want to go off my phone more and like write raps and other things.
It's just gave me so much confidence, and it's just gave me so many opportunities, and all of the work as led is so helpful, so it's done so much for me. Well, in school, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't behaving great, and ever since I just joined Beats, it's just like made me so much more independent, and not just that, it's just like it's like gave me so like I've just said, it gave me so many opportunities. So I've been going gigs like nearly every week, and I just like love it.
How brilliant is that? Well, we're now joined by the founder of the Beats Bus, Steve Arnott. Steve, how do you feel? I'm getting emotional, and I'm not even the founder of the Beats Bus. How are you feeling?
Brilliant. How are you doing? You okay?
I'm very well, thank you very much. And I've been loving hearing about the Beats Bus and following your journey this week. For people who are just joining us today, who've missed out on the backstory, just explain what it is and how you got it going, Steve.
Yeah, sure. So Beats Bus Records is a record label and a not-for-profit company for young people who we give free mentoring program to young people aged 8 to 30. And then the Beats Bus mobile recording studio is a 7.5-ton lorry that we've converted into a gaming and workshop studio. So we can take that to places where young people, don't usually have access to arts and music, and the families can't afford to give them money to, access lessons or access any kind of arts all the time. There's a lot of families in and around Hull that, they don't have any extra money for them activities. So we like to take the Beats Bus vehicle there and offer them activities to the young people for free and let them follow their dreams and their aspirations.
And how important is it that you're offering access to stuff that seems sometimes out of reach for people in less advantageous areas? Sometimes if you're struggling for cash, being a DJ is the last thing sometimes you can think you could do, and you're turning up and you're showing no, you can do it, and we can help you, give you the skills to follow your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up myself, younger in the 90s, wanting to be an artist, and there was just nothing available to help you follow that dream or follow them steps, and we made some wrong decisions to be able to make money just to be able to follow our dreams, which is wrong. So it's so important to be able to let these young people think about what they want to do without thinking about financial barriers, or the families thinking about financial barriers. So, yeah, it's so important. And, some of the results that we see, some of the success stories have just been amazing. So, warms my heart.
Obviously you help so many people in different ways, Steve. Are there some that you've helped that sort of have stayed with you?
Yeah. Most of the young people who join stay with us for quite a while. Frank is nearly 5 years now, the young man who you heard speaking earlier. When he first came to us, he was just over 9, I think. He'd never touched a pair of decks before in his life. As he's gradually worked with us and trained with us, we got him his own decks to have at home. And from that, he's gone and done some gigs and earned some money and bought more equipment. So he's building himself as a self-sufficient DJ, and he's on his 13, and he's better than me. And I'm so jealous of him.
Apprentice turns master, Steve, isn't it? Amazing.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
And what's next for the Beats Bus? Because we've heard, what an impact it's made on the kids and the young people that have come to access it, and how you've set it up, and the work that you're doing. What's next for you? Are you going to be able to keep the Beats Bus going so that you can keep on helping people?
That's always, a worry on my mind about the sustainability of how long it can continue for. So we're doing a project at the moment with youth music called Campaign Champions. So next year we're going to be going into communities, 3 different communities, meeting the young people where they are in their community, finding out what's important to them, and then training them to create their own campaigns and deliver it for everybody to hear in their own communities. So giving young people a voice in 3 different areas: Bransholme, Brigg and Grimsby, which is Hull and roundabouts Hull. So that's a great project. But like you say, the continuation is always a worry, and funding is changing a lot. So, I hope we can continue forever. I hope the legacy will live far, far past me. But it's always a worry.
And talking of legacy, Steve, would you like to see things like this spread across the whole country? And should you be having to fight and scrap and scrape for different pots of funding here and there? Would you like to see perhaps government funding or something for youth clubs or other clubs like yours across the country?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's so important that should be in place. And, instead of organisations continuously worrying and fighting to get the money to do what they're best at, if they just had the money there guaranteed to go out and do the work that we're meant to do, that's how things should be. But unfortunately, the money seems to stay with the money in the country, doesn't it? So...
Yeah, well, fingers crossed with campaigners like you, Steve, are working tirelessly as you are. Things might change. You don't know, do you? I really appreciate you being on the programme and for all the stories that we've had from the Beats Bus this week. It's been brilliant to have the access and to chat to you. Thank you very much for being with us.
Okay, thank you.
That was Steve Arnott there, the brilliant founder of the Beats Bus. And of course, if you haven't heard our other features on the Beats Bus, you can go back on BBC Sounds and listen to Drive across the week, and you can listen to more of our stuff from there.
And with the stories we've heard over the last couple of days, these young people who literally were going down that path, got involved in this project, and now going down a different path, caught really early on. We're talking 11, 12, 13-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's it. They're on the right path.
Yeah.
And honestly, you sit here doing news every single day. So many stories about kids who are on the wrong path. You think it's pretty simple, isn't it, really?
People like Steve and the work that they're doing.
Yeah, just give them something to do. Give them something productive to do and catch them early. So we salute him. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thanks to Ryan as well for putting those great reports together.